Hi everybody, Casey Zander here. Now, I got a comment on my YouTube channel saying, hey Casey, can you do a video on how to make a woman wildly attached? Okay. I liked how it sounds, so I figured I would do a whiteboard video on it. Now, here's a prerequisite to this video going into this. Number one, I don't want you to use this for evil, but I am going to give you the facts on how this works and how I found that this works in my own life. Okay, second thing, prerequisite to this. You literally, in order to make any girl attached, you literally cannot be dependent on the outcome at all. If she replies to you, if she calls you back, if she texts you back, or if she's investing back into you from the get-go. Here's why you can't care. I learned this in life along the way. Okay, here's what I learned in life. You cannot put a lot of mental energy into things that you can't control. Okay, so here's what I mean. I realized this at a very, very young age. When I wanted to control my fitness and control my body, I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. The more effort I put into this, the more effort that I designate to this, I can get bigger and I can get stronger and I can get more fit. Wow, there's a direct correlation between how much I focus on this and do this and how successful I am in the gym. Same thing happened with business. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a direct correlation between how much mental bandwidth I give this and how much attention and energy I give this and how much money I make. Cool, I am 100% in control. It does not work that way with women. So you have to understand this from the get-go. To get a girl emotionally attached to you or wildly invested in you, what you have to understand is that you cannot control because there's another person on the other end and her emotions are dictated by her, not necessarily you, but there is things that you can do along the way. So, number one, here's the very first thing going into this. In order to make a woman wildly attached, you have to be attainable for her. Okay, what does attainable for her mean? Well, it means that you are flirting with the idea of commitment in her brain because this keeps her stimulated. See, here's what I found is that it's very, very, very hard for a woman to feel 100% attached to a guy that she feels as if is not attainable. Okay, attainable for commitment. See, women want commitment from one specific man. And if she sees that there is slight attainability from the specific guy that she wants, and you have flirted with that idea of potential commitment, and no, I'm not saying commitment 100%, I'm saying flirting with the idea of commitment. It's the what if factor. Okay, that brain and mental stimulation is the exact thing that will typically keep them hooked. And here's why. What you have to realize with women is that they 100% will filter out, so that way they don't get hurt by guys who won't commit to them. They will filter those guys out and try their absolute best to not become attached to them. So when you're with this woman, okay, to her, okay, to the girl that you're speaking with, to the girl that you're seeing, to her, the chemistry that she feels around you has to feel 100% organic. Okay, the chemistry that she feels towards you has to feel organic. Why do I say that it has to feel organic? Because for most men, if she can see that you're using any sort of tactics, if you're using any sort of fake personality or fake persona, if she sees that you're using any sort of fake seduction, okay, this is going to be a turnoff. She wants to be able to look at you and tell her friends oh my God, I met this guy, okay, he likes me, we just click, okay, I really want him. I really, really want him to want me back. Okay, this is called organic chemistry. If you can get this organic chemistry lever in her head going, you're going to be wildly successful at actually starting to get her to view you as the type of guy that she would want. So, here's the idea here, okay? This is why you must give the illusion of attainability. Okay, just like I said this earlier, this key point. Women know how to guard themselves. Okay, illusion of attainability. I'm not saying 100% attainable that you're going to commit. I'm saying the illusion of potential attainability. Okay, women know how to guard themselves from potential men that they could get hurt by. Hurt by as in he leaves, he doesn't want her anymore, emotionally she feels jaded. Okay, all of these things, they know how to guard themselves from that. That's why a very, very important aspect of this is giving the perception, giving the persona that there is slight positive commitment that could come from this in an attainable standpoint, so she feels like it's a win for her. There's a potential win for her sleeping with you. There's a potential win for her actually being by your side. All of these things are important to a woman. This is the first prerequisite, second prerequisite. The next thing, once you have that aspect down, okay, usually by now, S3X has happened. Typically by now, the guy has usually slept with the girl, okay? Here's what happens. As that happens and you've slept with the girl, typically here's what happens. Okay, you become a guy who is now commitment phobic. Okay, Now, you might be laughing at this and you might be saying, well, Casey, isn't this evil? Isn't this manipulative? Potentially, depending on your intentions going into it with. But you got to remember, as a guy, it's your job to be screening who you give 100% full commitment to and full attention towards. So if a guy all of a sudden that she's interested in and invested in has the idea and the illusion of potential attainability, if all of a sudden it seems like he's a catch or a chase or hard to lock down, she's going to want him even more. So if any point this type of guy would start to become distant, okay, or thinks that being aloof is working in his favor, which it is, she now feels this disinterest on your end or on this guy's end. And then here's what happens, okay? I put a star next to this one because this is important. Since she knows and she feels that you're a catch, 100%, okay, she's going to start to assume that other women are in the picture. Now, something really critical here happens at this point. When she starts to get the idea that other women might be in the picture or talking to you, it depends what type of girl she is, and there's two types of girls. If she has high self-esteem and a high sense of self-worth, the first thing is that she's going to tell you to get lost. She's probably going to think that you're not playing fair. She's probably going to feel like you're just another guy who's going to try and take advantage of her. All of a sudden, bam, she's going to exit if she has a high sense of self-esteem. Women who have lower sense of self-esteem, lower sense of self-worth, women who enjoy toxicity, okay, these types of girls are going to pursue you harder. These are the type of girls who are going to randomly show up at your house and ring the doorbell and see if they can talk to you. They're going to call you 20 times. They're going to be asking why you're distant. Even if you're not trying to be distant, and let's just say you're working or you're doing something, they're going to automatically assume disinterest and their brain just starts spinning, okay? So as this is set in stone or as this is in play, what you have to realize is this: the strongest lever in a woman's brain, like the strongest lever that keeps them attached, the strongest lever in a girl's brain 24/7 is the idea that he could have been the one for me. He could have been the one, but something happened and he got away. See, all women deep down, like, they love the Beauty and the Beast love story of how this one guy or this one beast, okay, swoops her in emotionally. All of a sudden, he's the type of guy who looks after her and wants her. They all want this. And since they all want this, if she feels as if she could have had you, but something happened and now she doesn't get you, okay, this is automatically a void that she wants to fill. That void that she wants to fill is 100% the way that she's going to act, and it's a void that she's going to try to make amends with you and try to get you back, especially if you've developed that attachment. So this is how women become wildly attached, especially by men who are not necessarily willing to commit or not necessarily wanting to commit. This is how their brain acts. Now here's a thing I have to conclude this with though, okay? High value men do not have to do these things. Like, I'm going to just say that straight up. If you're a high value guy, if you're a guy who has stuff going on in your life, you've made yourself a person of value, you don't have to do these things. And here's why. As you chalk up wins in life, okay, wins start to snowball. Like, you just got to understand this. All of you watching this channel, you will all get wins in life as long as you stay dedicated to a process. That does not mean that you have to work harder or work longer than everybody. It means that you have to stick it out for a longer duration of time, meaning months and years, without giving up. That is how you get ahead. Wins in life snowball. When you have wins in life that snowball, this now fortifies true confidence and you're secure with yourself, meaning that you feel whole as an individual. You can go to bed every single night, and even if you don't have anybody by your side, you're not lonely and you don't feel sad or you don't feel anxious, because of the fact that you are secure with yourself. So when you fortify your confidence, it fortifies your attitude, and ultimately this makes you feel strong. And the reason why a high value guy doesn't have to do these things is because 99% of men, you have to understand this, are losing in life. They're losing in life, and since they're losing in life, they don't have a strong sense of worth and they don't have a strong sense of confidence. And this shows in the way they communicate. This shows in the way that they carry themselves. This shows in their persona. And this is a type of energy that women are repelled by. When you're a guy who has all of these wins going on in life, it's like your success just snowballs. Like, you're on an upward spiral of success. She can feel that. If she can feel that, she 100% realizes that you're probably a guy who doesn't have to play these games, and you probably do have options from the get-go. And because she can tell the way that you carry yourself, it's attractive. She knows that other women are naturally going to be interested in you. Therefore, you don't have to play these games of trying to be distant and all of this crap. So just keep that in mind. If you're a high value man, what I recommend you doing is right below this video, I created a webinar. The webinar is called MBT. It stands for Masculine Behavioral Techniques. I made it brand new for this month. I show you the 3 hidden secrets of MBT, which means what we're going to look at and what we're going to dive into is secret number 1 of masculine frame, secret number 2 of masculine energy, and I'm even going to show you my number 1 unlimited hack to options for the rest of your life, so that way you have a pipeline of options and you don't have to consistently hunt for new leads, so to speak. That is a training that I 100% will recommend going down below and clicking and registering for, because by the end of that presentation, your entire life is going to be changed because of the amount of effort and quality of content that I've put into that to truly get you to see the dynamic switch that you have to live by so you can become the type of man that actually gets success in life instead of a guy just using false tactics. Hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.